and welcome here to Talk FCB, and welcome back to the beginning of another week, and with that great feeling. Barca last night getting the job done in the very final moments against Valladolid. It was a stunning goal from Dembele, and in today's video we are going to be talking about what that huge 3 points mean to us, but also about the improvements that we are going to need to make ahead of El Clasico, because as always, Ronald Koeman after the game, he showed his usual honesty in his reflection on our performance, and we're going to be talking about all of that. Let's get to it. Come on! Because I have to say, guys, in terms of the game yesterday and in terms of the way that we won it, it just felt like a really big moment. I think when that goal went in, with the way the game was going, we couldn't quite get that goal, and it seemed as though we were going to drop points. And I think if we did drop points there, you could have said the title was over for Barcelona. But one goal, one moment there could change everything, and it feels like a really, really big goal and a big win for us. These are the games that win you titles. But like I say, after the game, real credit again to Ronald Koeman, because he didn't sugarcoat it. It would have been easy for him after the game to come out and say, yeah, you know, brilliant winning goal, we got the 3 points, that was all we wanted, everything is fine, and just sort of ignore the poor performance that honestly we did put in. But he didn't do that. He was very, very honest, and he was clear. We need to improve. Because Koeman said we lacked a lot in the first half. He said we didn't press them very well. We didn't control the game. He said I saw a slow, tired Barcelona from the very beginning. He said you have to have freshness in this team, but he said I didn't see that. And maybe it's because of the internationals. They went away, of course, in the international break. He said, but whatever it was, we were way off our level. He said it was a difficult game. He said Real Valladolid played very, very well. He said we changed the system, though, in the second half. Of course, De Jong there stepping into midfield, and he said we improved a lot in the second half. We did suffer, but I think in the end, we deserved to win the game. And again, there was real emphasis there on the spirit of this team, the mentality that I think, credit to him, Koeman, that is the one thing that you can say he has indeed changed. He said the guys showed me they're capable of winning games. He said the mentality in this team has to be highlighted because they never stop looking for the 3 points. He said we had a bit of luck at the end of the game, but I really like this from Koeman. He said, but I was calm. He said I was more worried about the first half because then I saw a completely different team compared to what we've been doing in our recent performances. He said, but in the second half, we improved, we created chances, and they showed that we can win whilst not playing well. And of course, Ronald Koeman as well had some special words for the match win. Apparently when Ousmane Dembélé was actually coming off the field at full time, Koeman said to him, I love you, Ousmane. What a huge goal that was. And Koeman there, he said, of course I'd like Dembélé to stay at the club and extend his contract. He said he's an important player for us. He said, look at today, he's shown that with the way that he's played, the goal that he scored. He said the key for him this season and the way that he's improved, he said it's all about continuity. He said he's physically improved, he's got a lot stronger, and he said he's been able to play a lot more games. That's the key. And I do indeed want to talk about Dembele, because I have to say, moments before that goal, I think we were all sort of in the same boat here. We were all saying, please stop giving the ball away, Ousmane, because in those minutes before the goal, when the clock was counting down, when time was running out for Barcelona, I have to say that Ousmane Dembele, he was quite careless in possession. And at that stage of the game, we wanted there a little bit more careful play. But that's the thing about him. Yes, at times he can be frustrating. Yes, at times not everything will be perfect and polished about his game, but he can do that. He can arrive in those moments. And regardless there of what you think of Dembele, he is one of the few players in this team who at any given moment, he can step up. He's unpredictable, but he does give you something very, very different. And that is why, credit to him again, that Koeman left him out there. You know, Antoine Griezmann came off, changes were made, but Dembele stayed on the pitch. And in the end, he proved why. But I also do want to highlight a performance here at the other end of the field, because obviously going forward yesterday we had our problems, we didn't play as we'd hoped, but I do want to highlight here a defender who I think was really, really impressive, and we do deserve to give him some credit because he has had a very, very tough time. Of course I'm talking there about Clement Lenglet, because like I say, Lenglet this season, we know that he's had his failures and they've been very, very well documented, and he has cost us points. There's no denying that throughout the season. But over the past few games, he has been a lot more solid. I think the three at the back system suits him a lot more. I think he feels a bit more comfortable there. And I thought yesterday he was very, very good indeed. He made a lot of interceptions, a lot of crucial interventions as well, when Valladolid were really threatening us, to be honest, for much of that first half. And I also thought what he did really, really well, he was aggressive. He was winning that ball back, especially in the second half, and keeping the pressure on Valladolid. And look, yes, we can criticise when things aren't going well, but when somebody does something good, when you play a good game, we can also say, well done. I also want to talk here about one of the substitutes. I think everybody who came on, to be honest, actually had a bit of an impact. I think Braithwaite was important there to have that presence in the area. I thought also Trincao came on, and every time that he sort of looked to shoot, he did look dangerous, although he does need to find those corners of the goal to really hit the jackpot. And of course, Elash Moriba as well, coming on for another big game in midfield for the youngster. But of course, I want to talk here about Ricky Puig. He was only given sort of 3 or 4 minutes at the end of the game. He came on there in the 87th minute. And of course it was a bit late, but whenever he comes on, doesn't matter whether he's on for 2 minutes, whether he's on for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, he always makes an impact. He injects energy, pace in our game. And you can say, yeah, he wasn't directly involved in the winning goal, but he just gives you something. When he steps onto the field, he adds to this team. I wish Koeman would play him a bit more. I wish he would have more minutes, more opportunities in the team. But again, yesterday, he showed he is quality, he can make an impact, and we all know that's what Ricky Puig can do. But of course, guys, when you're looking at yesterday's game, and in particular the sort of sluggish performance that Barcelona showed, then it was a bit of a shame, given that before the international break we were so good. And a lot of people are thinking now, can we get back to that level, especially when you're looking ahead to El Clasico? And why was that sort of slow start happening yesterday after that international break? And I want to focus here and give an example about Lionel Messi, because a lot of people yesterday will say, Messi wasn't at his best, particularly there in the first half, maybe a few touches that you wouldn't usually see Messi misplace or not quite get right in terms of his shooting or whatever. It just wasn't quite there for Messi, and that can happen. But I do want to use this example here to illustrate the very, very big difference between match fitness and match sharpness. Because when you're looking there at Messi, of course, during the international break, there was no South American qualifiers, which was a good thing, because we all thought that, Messi can have now 2 weeks of rest, which is really, really important in terms of his overall fitness and not having any injury problems. But what that did mean was that by the time we came into this game, Messi there hadn't played for 15 days, which for him, that's a lifetime. It's been a long time. If he's not injured, he's usually playing every few days. And I think yesterday what you saw was a player there who was very fit. He's certainly feeling good after that rest, but he wasn't quite sharp. And that was what was really, really important yesterday. Even though he was on a booking, even though if he got one more, he would have missed El Clasico, those 90 minutes, they were so key. What he's got there is a nice warm-up game under his belt. Now he can have a week of training with the group again, ready for El Clasico. He's back into it now. He will be ready for that game, and I've got no doubt in my mind that he'll be at his brilliant best. And of course, guys, speaking of El Clasico, there is going to be so much content coming up for you over the next few days. We're going to be getting absolutely ready for that game. I personally cannot wait to head to Real Madrid and get really, really wrapped up in that game. And there has been some big news on the Clasico front this morning, because Rafael Varane, he is not going to play in that game. He has tested positive there for COVID-19. Of course, we all wish him a very speedy and safe recovery, but he is not going to be involved, much like Sergio Ramos, who will also miss the big game. And of course, although we all knew that Felipe Coutinho would not be involved in El Clasico and was unlikely to appear again this season, it has now been pretty much confirmed that he'll miss the rest of the campaign after he did go through another surgery. The good news on that is that the surgery was successful, and of course we are all wishing him a very speedy and safe recovery, and the decision on Ansu Fati and another surgery, that will be made very, very soon. And of course, there is Champions League action this week, and indeed tonight there is big clashes at the quarter-final stage with Erling Haaland at Manchester City. He's not going to sign for them, but he is playing against them tonight. Real take on Liverpool tonight. We'll be keeping a very, very close eye on their progress. And of course, guys, let me know your thoughts on everything we have discussed in today's video. How are you feeling after that late winner yesterday? I am feeling good. But what we have to do now is get ready, improve. There's a big week coming on the training ground for Koeman's side. We simply have to be ready. I will see you soon, guys. Thank you indeed for your brilliant support. But until next time, As always, Visca El Barça!